What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I want to thank Busy Little B for sharing this video. I also used clips from two other creators in this video, so I'm going to cite them as well. I also wanted to just show you the opening sequence here and have you ask yourself, does this look familiar? The distracted driving that we've seen maybe out of Foodie. But more importantly, I know our community has been very vocal about streaming and driving. I know that we kind of joke around about Chantal driving over curbs. She's joked about it. But the reason I mention that is when you look at these thumbnails, these to me look strikingly similar to what Foodie's thumbnails look like when she was driving. And to that point, I just want to go through here and show some of the transgressions this girl has while driving. So we're going to start with the initial clip that I showed where, both hands off the wheel. I don't know exactly what she's doing here. This is an argument she had with another motorist when she was unsure how to get out of this parking lot. She's kind of letting the person know she doesn't have anywhere to go because there's a person behind her. But I think, again, you just look at an overall narrative of someone that's driving very much distracted, even though these clips are slowed down, constantly looking at the phone, looking at the position of the camera, and then here is the speed bump that I talked about that she hit, which honestly, when I saw it, if you've seen Chantal hit her speed bump, they look so similar. Now, I want to go and talk about the clip that we most see now is the accident. And with that said, I want to kind of just go through here and give you a synopsis of what's happening. So she is doing a couple things. Number one, she's singing. Number two, she is streaming. And number three, the phone, if you can't tell, is either close to the wheel or close enough to the wheel where it's very much in the way of her being able to navigate. Now, to her, I don't even want to say to her credit, but to what she is indicating later on, she is actually trying to use Waze. Now, the issue I have with that is if Waze is on her phone, not this streaming device, it's hard to understand the positioning of everything involved. Is she looking at the phone for directions? Is she looking at the phone for chat, live streaming, camera position? Whatever the case may be, you'll learn later on, because I'm going to let you listen to some of the audio. It's clear that she doesn't exactly know where she is. She's in New Jersey. She's trying to get back to Staten Island. New Jersey, relatively known for quick exits, clover leaves, everything's an exit on the turnpike, tolls that don't allow you to do U-turns. So when you follow her trying to, I believe, in all sincerity, navigate right there, where she's kind of looking over like, okay, which direction am I headed against what direction do I need to head? Unless you actually take an exit to U-turn, you're not going to be able to get going the other way. And I just want to show you right here, there's a moment where I believe she actually acknowledges to the viewer, despite singing along, that she says, hey, I'm headed the wrong direction here. I need to be over on the opposite side. And she actually taps on the glass and says, listen, I need to be over there. So we know there's a problem right here as soon as she starts to indicate I'm going the wrong way and I don't know how to fix this.
I don't know where I'm going right now.
So I think it's important that we understand the narrative of it's clear she doesn't know where she's going, where she is, or the proper direction of travel. And I say that because we've all been there. Everyone that's driven on an interstate has at one point been in the wrong direction and needed to get turned around, or had a GPS recalculate and not known exactly where we're going. However, I think most reasonable people take time to slow down, pull over if you have to, and instead you can just see her panic. She's looking for signs, she's looking at things, she's trying to get her bearings while still being completely focused on what she's doing on her live stream. If anything, you would think at some point she would have just shut the phone off or just said, listen, I'm going to stop acknowledging my chat or anything going on because I clearly don't know where I am and I need to get back home. This moment right here in real time is less than 10 seconds before the impact. And to me, whether it's her phone, whether it's her live stream, it's clear she's not looking at the road, which is imperative to where she needs to end up going. You're not going to be able to get the directions off the phone when you're moving at this rate of speed and trying to decipher what lane you need to be in. So hindsight being 2020, it's clear we're the most distracted right in this moment. You can see, in my opinion, she takes one last glance up at the road, more than likely to evaluate road signs, and then we're about to have impact as she looks back. But to me, she looks back at the phone almost one more time right here before she knows, hey, I'm about to hit something. And that's what's so troubling to me, is it's almost like she was preoccupied with the phone in this moment right here. I'm going to let you listen after the impact happens.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I can't stop. All right?
So in this moment, we realize there's a child in the car. Obviously, the impact sound relatively strong, but I will also let you listen to her after when she starts to make calls.
I gotta call Grandpa. You're okay. We got into an accident.
Mommy.
It's okay. I gotta call Grandpa. Holy shit. I gotta call Grandpa. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Please leave your message for 718.
I have to call Pop.
You're gonna have to pick us up.
So to me, one of the things that I first realized when watching this is the child is completely aware of what's going on. I don't know, and it's very hard to say that she did enough to check on the health and well-being of the child after the impact. However, she doesn't seem very quick to assess what's going on outside of, I need to call a family member, as opposed to seeking emergency assistance. The child is also very cognitive. I mean, in just a short period of time, the child's able to understand, we've been in an accident, something bad has happened, to the point that we are not going to be able to drive home. And then when she acknowledges she has to call Pop, the child almost immediately says back, is he going to have to come get us?
I was trying to get over and I didn't see this woman.
While technically she is correct, she didn't see the woman. The reason she didn't see her is because she was driving so distracted.
I can't believe this.
Hey, what's going on?
I got into a car accident. I got into a car accident. She's fine. We're both fine, but she's very scared. We're in New Jersey. I was trying to navigate my way home, and I got, like, I couldn't, I missed the turn that I had to go around Waze. I was trying to fix Waze, and some lady, I called him, his phone is, he's not answering. All right, bye. You're all right, Ellie. Yeah. Yeah. Come here. We have to wait for the cops and everything to come, okay? Okay?
So before I let you see her pick up the child and discuss with the chat and stream what was happening, I think it's important to understand she was honestly sitting there saying, you know, there was this woman I was trying to redirect on Waze, not really taking any accountability for, hey, I've been in the car for at least 5 minutes, completely distracted while I'm driving, dealing with my live stream on YouTube, playing with my phone, singing songs, and now this is the end result. And I don't expect her to be that forthright in the moment because there's a lot of emotions going on, and thankfully everyone is okay from what we know, but the lack of accountability in the moment is quite telling.
Holy shit. I wasn't even doing anything. I wasn't even doing anything just now. I wasn't doing anything that I wasn't supposed to do. I was trying to find directions to get home. I wasn't being, like, I wasn't driving reckless. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
So in the moment, she says, listen, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't driving reckless. I think it really depends on your definition of reckless, right? If your definition of reckless is, you know, passing cars on the shoulder, going at a high rate of speed, you know, drifting down the interstate, then by that definition, no, you weren't doing anything, you know, per se reckless. But the results of you driving distracted put you in a position where you were reckless to the point you caused an accident. And I do just want to say as a caveat, there is nothing in this video that actually shows she was 100% at fault. However, with that said, the video makes it very difficult for her to prove that she was not solely at fault. Could another vehicle have driven into her? 100% absolutely beyond the shadow of a doubt. Based on the way she was driving up until the accident, is that likely? not really.
Our car's broken too, Ellie. I gotta get out and see what the car looks like, because oh my God, this is so bad. It's okay, it's okay, come on. You're fine. You're okay, baby.
I'm not scared.
You're okay, you're okay.
I don't like how it was over.
I know. I'm on the parkway and I'm trying to get home and I don't know Jersey. And this one, I was trying to merge and there was a woman in my blind spot.
So I think what's interesting is the child responds, number one, very innocently, because they've never driven a car. They don't really know the gravity of the situation. They're not fully aware of what's going to go on or what's going to come of this. They can only give a very small scale perspective of what's happening. So the child acknowledges immediately, something is wrong, someone needs to come get us, this is severe, and then indicates, I told you. And that makes me wonder, what is the child referring to? You had told her in the past she needed to pay more attention, she'd almost hit things in the past, she'd been distracted in the past, the child was aware enough to know that when you're driving the car you shouldn't be doing all these extracurricular things, that accidents can and will happen, and therefore that's exactly what got us in this situation.
I didn't see them. Our car is not okay right now. Okay? Let me get out for a second.
So the carelessness here of, kind of just setting the child back in the car, but then opening the door without any type of acknowledgement that you are still in a roadway that, at least to some degree, you could very well be impeding. I want you to note that there is a white truck a lane away from this, but there is a dark colored truck that is right beside of her. And the fact that she just opens this door as if she's in a parking lot somewhere and gets out with zero regard of what the other motorists may be doing, I think is a continued trend of showing, her mind was just not in the situation to drive this trip. And she has never gotten unoverwhelmed, if you will, from what took place. And if this motorist, if this truck isn't a professional driver and paying the utmost of attention, it's likely this situation has a very different ending with her getting out this way.
Is it good?
So I guess while we let her survey the damage and to spare you the child crying continuously, before she gets back to the car, I wanted to just ask, what is the result here? I think this is something that if her community had watched her for any length of time, they've got plenty of warning signs that this could happen. Just like we have the same thing with Foodie. It hasn't happened yet. That doesn't mean that it won't happen. I think we're very fortunate that this wasn't worse, but it is a big step that YouTube needs to stop people streaming while driving, because nothing good is going to come from this practice, as we've seen here.
My door's not shutting! My door's not shutting!
Your door doesn't open. Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know. The cars, I can drive my car home. I'm waiting for the cops to come. Yeah. I got lost. His phone's off, and this is so bad. I can probably get the car back to Staten Island. I don't know. The car's bad. It's bad. A person.
So to close this out, I do also want to say you should never, especially after an impact like that, try to assess the damage to the vehicle yourself. There's so many things that you may not fully be aware of mechanically and suspension-wise that could be bent, could be broken. You're never going to be able to truly assess whether a vehicle is safe to drive after something like that, and you could put yourself in a much greater risk to lose control of the car again, have a wheel fall off, lose steering, lose brakes. So by all means, don't take a bad situation and make it a worse one by thinking, I can get this home, because if I can get the car home somehow, that makes it better. Get a tow truck, get someone out to help you, and get back where you can completely and fully know that you are safe. I also want to let you guys know, in the next couple of days, you're more than likely going to see the memberships button turn on. I am going to be doing more content like this, other content that isn't specifically Girl World related, although I do think, as I said back in the beginning, when you look at her community, when you look at our community, there's no doubt there were distinct parallels between community members watching someone and saying, we have to put an end to streaming while driving. And thankfully, in this situation, we can still look back and know that everyone, for the most part, was safe. But we need to make sure that the next time we don't have a different result. Appreciate you guys checking this out. I'll be back as soon as I can with more content.